Why are you running for Congress?
I just truly believe that for the first time in the history of our country, we are not leaving something better to our youth. And I don't want to be a part of that generation that leaves a worse off America than the one that I inherited from my mother and my grandparents. And they worked incredibly hard to give me the life that I was able to achieve in America today. And I want to make sure that I'm going to give you that same opportunity, my children that opportunity, my grandchildren that opportunity. Because right now with the overrules, regulation, and bigger government, that's going to be harder for all of you young people to achieve.
With that being said, do you support concealed carry reciprocity?
I absolutely would. I absolutely would. I think it's ridiculous that California doesn't. I mean, you can have a concealed carry in the state of California that's good in many other states, as you know. Yet, if Arizona has a concealed carry, they're not allowed to cross the border into California. You know, you take classes before you get the privilege of a concealed carry. And to me, I think a reciprocity is very important, absolutely.
What are your thoughts on early release for nonviolent criminals?
You know, it's in California specifically, when you talk about Prop 47, and I believe it's Prop 57, right? It's those two you're referring to. They're talking about releasing what they consider to be nonviolent offenders. But those nonviolent offenders are rapists. They are people who have attacked other people with forms of force and have committed bodily harm. To me, that's not somebody who's nonviolent. Why on earth somebody should be able to get out for what California now considers to be a lesser crime? I can tell you hundreds of women that don't believe that is a lesser crime.
Yeah, no. To lighten things up, do you support hunting personally and legislatively?
You know, I actually do. I grew up hunting in Northern California on my grandfather's ranches with my cousins. And for us, it was actually a form of preservation for the deer, because at the end of every winter, you would find so many dead carcasses because they simply didn't have enough food. So my grandfather, we took a deer off of each property, and you know, my grandmother cooked every bit of it, and what we didn't cook for ourselves, we gave to people that were less fortunate. Yeah. So my grandfather always utilized it as a form of giving back to people who were less fortunate up in Northern California, who needed the meat, that couldn't afford to buy it as well. Yeah. I got my son interested in hunting.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it is something that's been really neat for us to do as a family together. Hunting, fishing, all of that we've always done together. And we don't take anything that we don't use. Right. And most hunters don't. I mean, most hunters, it's not a sport issue, especially here in the United States. But when you buy that hunting license, it's that money from that hunting license that actually goes to conservation, that goes to awareness, that goes to hunter safety courses, that goes to all of the things that the people who are uneducated about hunting and gun ownership don't understand.
Oh yeah, that's completely correct. What do you want your voters in the 36th district to know about you?
Well, you know, most people know me as that actress, but what they don't know about me is I actually put my money to work for me. My husband and I started many successful businesses in Southern California. And unlike my opponent, I employ over 100 people in Southern California, 180 right now, my busiest time of year. And I have my finger on that pulse. I know what businesses go through to survive.
I'm sure you feel all the hurt.
I want to help them. I want to help them continue to succeed. I know what the Affordable Care Act did to my employees, to my family, to our businesses. And if it's my business, that's just one. You're talking about thousands and thousands of businesses all throughout the country, and even worse so in California. So when you look at the 30-hour work week, I can't think of too many people, you know, that can survive on a 30-hour work week, and yet that was something that was also done under the Obama administration. The fact that we are in a position right now to actually get rid of and roll back things that were implemented upon all of us, and I believe everyone goes with the best of intentions, but they get there to Washington and they become their own brand of celebrity. And they're afraid to make the really tough decisions for us, what we elect them to go to Washington for, because they don't want to lose their job. And that's not the person I am. I've led that lifestyle of celebrity. I'm going for completely different reasons. I'm walking away from an incredibly lucrative career because I need to make a difference. I want to make a difference. And I'm not going to be beholden to anybody. No one. I will only be beholden to the people who have elected me to go to office. I'm going to make enemies, I'm sure, on both sides of the aisle. But it's time that our voices have been heard.
So excited to see that happen.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
Oh, no, thank you. Thank you.